And our guest is Mike Dana, Rochester Power Savers. If you have one of those, and who doesn't, one of those electric meters, this show is for you today because Mike has this program that can save you up to 25% on your electric bill. So if your electric bill is $200 every month, he can save you $50.
That means one of these units could pay off on my house inside of a year. I mean, the cost Mike has on these units, let's say $365, I could get mine paid for in 10 months based on the savings.
Mike showed me earlier, before we hit the air today, Mike showed me an actual RG&E bill of a client that he installed his device in. Now, the guy's name wasn't on there, but the actual bill, before and after. And explain what I saw in that bill, because it'll sound more impressive coming from you.
What you saw was on our commercial unit, and when I say commercial, that goes for small restaurants, could go for laundromats, car washes. Anything that uses more than 2,000 kilowatts is on a demand meter. And anybody that has a demand meter knows when they see their bill, that portion of the bill is very scary. What our unit does is it takes the spikes out of the initial startup of any motor. And if we use a restaurant, for example, when people think of restaurants, you go in there for a cup of coffee, but they forget about the hoods, the Ansel systems, everything that's drawing electricity. What our unit does is basically a couple things. First of all, it's going to take what's called power factor, and that's what the RG&E is actually sending you, which basically in Rochester is about 77. That's the norm that we've been finding around, which means for every dollar a residential home is getting billed, you're using 77 cents worth of electricity. You're wasting the rest. What our unit's going to do is going to bring you between 95 and 97%. And we could bring you to 100. The only reason we don't is we leave some wiggle room in there for when multiple motors start up. We don't want to overcompensate because that's sometimes just as bad. And then the magic word is everybody goes, well, I have Fairport Electric.
Yeah.
Well, Fairport's the very best town we have to do business in. One of the reasons that their electric is actually so inexpensive is they send tremendously low power factor. And in the summertime, anybody that's got an air conditioner, they've heard that, brownout phase. Well, by not only browning out, they're actually burning out their compressors for their refrigerators or their air conditioners. Our unit raises the power factor. They're not making any more electrically energy stations. I mean, nuclear plants they're trying to shut down. So they've only got so much in the grid, and that's a catchphrase. Everybody says the grid. They're not making the grid any bigger, so they've got to keep stretching out what they have. Our unit takes whatever's coming into your house, whether it be bad or good, and makes it better.
If I own an apartment complex, if I have, say, a 10-unit apartment house, do you have to install your device in each unit, or can I just
No, we could. Depending on how the apartment complex is wired, we can put one unit right at the head end and take care of the whole building.
I can see the commercial advantages.
Oh yeah,
Our business plan when we started this, we were going to try and do like 10 to 15% commercial. We're 60 or 70% now because they see a greater savings because their bills are so much greater than residential homes. The residential home usually runs about $100 to $150 to $200 a month. That's pretty much average around Rochester. Commercial is anywhere from $600 to $5,000 a month, depending on what kind of a business they're running. The more you use, the more you save. The percentages go up dramatically. We just did the Honeoye Central School District, the high school. They have a $160,000 a year electric bill.
Oh my!
On their building. I have gone personally to various town halls to try and get them to purchase our unit for the town halls. And you keep hearing that phrase, they have to do more with less. Well, this is something that they can do that's going to be, beneficial from the day it goes in. It's an inexpensive way to conserve electricity. And let's face it, everybody now's got that, they're trying to conserve, they're trying to recycle. Everybody's trying to do the right thing. You've seen solar panels, you've seen wind turbines. Our unit works with wind turbines, solar panels, with generators, whatever kind of power you're feeding, we make better. And a byproduct of this is now the entire house or building is surge protected. So now you call your insurance company, you notify them that you've got a whole house surge protection, your rates go down.
Wow.
So
Does it do Does it do Windows? I mean,
No.
heck.
No, it doesn't.
The website again is uspowersave.com. The company is Rochester Power Saver. Mike Dana is our guest, and you brought quite an elaborate little demonstration. Now, this is going to be tough to. Well, obviously, you can't see it on the radio, but we'll put a picture of this entire demonstration on Jeff's blog page at propertysourceradio.com. But tell us about your little demonstration here. This is pretty fascinating.
What it is I made a demo unit 3 years ago because trying to explain it to people, it was a little difficult. This is a standard motor out of a regular washing machine, and this panel over here represents your panel box. And the meters that you see are actually digital meters so that you can get the exact savings.
Now, Pat, you saw this in operation when he...
I saw this at the boat show 2 weeks ago, believe it or not, and that's when I said, and he sold me pretty good. I mean, he had the bills for examples, etc. So I saw that in operation. Then I also saw it again when he installed it in my house.
All right, explain how you demonstrate this.
Well, again, most people understand that when a motor starts up, it takes more power to get the motor going. This one, in fact, is a little Dayton motor, and upon startup, this motor just used about 8.5.
Get some audio here.
So we got a motor going right there.
Okay, this motor is currently pulling a little over 5 amps. That's what you're getting billed at. Mm-hmm. Once you engage the unit, now you're actually still using 5 amps, but you're paying for 2 amps. And
look at that.
That's pretty significant savings.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're using almost a third less.
And again, the more you use, the more you save. The more motors you have. Now, like, for example, grocery stores have rows and rows of coolers. Well, all those coolers have compressor motors. And one of our fastest growing segments right now are grocery stores, drug stores. Anybody that has coolers have inductive motors.
Now, Pat, you leave this unit on all the time.
Correct. It doesn't have a switch to turn off.
Uh-huh.
It's simply wired into my main panel electrical box in my basement. And it's just got a little light bulb on it to indicate that it's connected. Mm-hmm. And there's no switch on it or anything. It's just got a couple of capacitors that store electricity. That's from my visual observation, by the way.
And as we watch the meter here, again, you can't see it, but the power usage is going down as we speak. Now, I should point out, it doesn't make this noise that you hear. That's just the motor.
Yeah, that's like a refrigerator motor or something.
It's a silent unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my question.
Yeah.
Does it make that? Do you have to listen to that noise all the time?
No, that's a test example of like a refrigerator motor or a dryer motor. That's what that is, that noise.
Why don't you kill that motor there? So
now this motor, there's the savings just in a few minutes.
And then, really? Wow. That's amazing.
That's how much it's stored in the few minutes it's just been on.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be selling 1 million of these.
Well, we're trying. We've got a good product. We've got it priced correctly. Our small unit is $265 installed. Our middle unit's $365 installed. And our large unit is $465 installed.
Based on the size of your house or electricity usage? Or
yeah, there's a couple of factors. People that have bigger houses with pools or pumps or hot tubs want to go for the bigger unit. They're going to get more storage capacity. There's a $100 difference between the two units. It's well worth the $100. We've put units in for people that put the small unit in, and then they decided to upgrade, and we refund their whole purchase price and just charge them the difference. We're in the business to try and get people to save money and be happy with their basic lifestyle, because things are tough. People are trying to save money. We have a unit that we feel very, very proud of that's made in the United States. Actually, it's made right here in Rochester, New York, using
even better
as much of the local product as I could possibly buy right here in Rochester. And again, I feel very strongly we have the best unit on the planet, bar none.
Well, that was another thing that impressed me. That was number 2, besides saving me money, was the fact that Mike went through his sales speech to me and his pitch, and everything he was focusing his butt off on trying to save money. Trying to build it locally in Rochester or in the United States, nothing outside the country, to employ people locally. And I was impressed because he's not saving money on the light bulb. For example, you see there's a light bulb right there? He was telling me that you can buy those in China for 6 cents.
Yeah.
And he pays $4.60 for that light bulb because he's got to buy it in the United States. So I was impressed by that. He's actually making an effort to buy stuff in this area.
Do you see this business expanding into the States? Do you have people interested in what you're doing right now that want to?
Yes, we have a local dealer right now called Orbit Energy that purchases from us, and they sell locally in Rochester. We have a distributor in Iowa, and we have one in Nevada, and we're expanding. We have the hottest item there ever is, because people that have electric meters, they get an electric bill, they're not happy with it. our unit is going to save them money from day one.
Now, this isn't going to make my refrigerator less effective.
It's actually going to make your refrigerator and any other appliance work better because it's getting conditioned electric. Again, a byproduct of this is going to be surge protection, which another byproduct is when you start putting everything into phase, the motor's going to run cooler, they're going to run quieter, which means they're going to run longer, and you're going to have less repairs on them because the motors are getting filtered electricity.
So this is actually not only saving me money on my bill, but it's also improving the quality of the products that I'm already using in my home, my refrigerator, my washer, my dryer.
And it's also it's helping the carbon footprint because the grid can produce less electricity than they actually needed. Instead of wasting electricity, it's kind of like opening the window when the furnace is on.
Yeah.
We're shutting the window. And you're basically getting what you pay for. And some of the savings are pretty staggering. We tell people that they can expect, a 10% savings. Realistically, we've had our typical customers anywhere between 18 and 20%. We've had them as high as 40%. The more inefficient your house is, the more savings you're going to have.
And the more pumps or motors that you have in the home.
Yes.
Right.
And I'll tell you, one of our big movers right now is we're doing a lot of things with the Mennonite that have dairy farms. They have tremendous motors, big 75, 80 horsepower motors pumping the milk. We just did one in Rushville. His electric bill was $1,300 for the month. We lowered him to $900 the first month.
Wow.
$400 savings.
Bam, right like that.
And he used a residential unit. He used our $465 unit. In 2 months, his whole thing's paid for.
That would make
that's
me cry.
assuming that the rates don't go up.
Yeah, well, of course.
Now, when you come and install the unit, can you tell how efficient my house already is?
Yes, we have a special meter that when we install it, we know that we have readings for what the house was doing before and after, and this is part of our installation process. We want everybody to be a winner, so if you call me 6 months from now, we're going to have in our computer what your house was doing and what it is doing. And what we do too is we make it a conscious effort is when we're in an area and we have a previous customer, we just do a pop-in just to check to make sure things are going well. On our commercial units, it's a process. We put a unit in off of the numbers that should be real. We go back in 2 weeks after the building's up and running to check it. If we have to put a little more power into it, we can. If we need to take a little out, we can. Our customers are very valuable to us. We're trying to earn everybody's business. And by getting people happy, by getting people to save money, when's the last time the RG&E sent you a notice saying they were going to lower your bill 10%?
Right now.
Yeah. We guarantee it. We guarantee it.
Well, I haven't gotten today's mail yet, but well, I kind of sense it's not coming.
Well, now think about this thing here. I mean, most of the time we've been thinking for the last few years, let's put in solar in our house. Let's put in the geothermal $16,000 furnace thingy. Big, now I'm talking about $400 to return $400 in about 8, 9, 10 months.
Wow.
That's impressive to me. Not $40,000, and I may never see it in my lifetime.
If I pull the switch here and decide to have your unit, the Rochester Power Saver, installed in my house, 2-3 day installation?
No, it's about a 20-minute to a half-hour installation, typically for a residential home. Commercials are a little bit different because we actually go to the commercial site to take readings. We make the unit site-specific for that building. But residential units are...
So you could be in and out of a house, a regular, my-sized house, in a couple of hours.
Oh, it takes me longer to get to your house than it does to actually
Really?
do it. Yes. Yes. And you don't have to shut anything off.
Wow.
All you got to do is
that's another issue.
You got to let me in, and the only thing I ask you to do is turn the dryer on because we use the dryer as our base for our readings.
Why the dryer?
It's got a motor on it, and this way here I can see the load before and after.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest loads in a house is the dryer. So that's why he tests the worst case scenario type thing.
Typically, the residential homes, the biggest draw is going to be your air conditioner. But with our lovely weather that you're only using a few months a year, it's not a good test. So the dryer is used 12 months a year, and that's our base.
How long will my Power Saver last?
It's guaranteed unconditionally for whatever happens for 5 years. It's built to last for 20 years.
Wow.
Impressive.
And again, one of the reasons that we can say this is because using the good quality American parts in there, the manufacturers stand behind us. And we're using the very, very best components in our unit.
This is tremendous. Now, you mentioned different units. You have commercial and residential. Are there different kinds of residential units that will give me better savings, or is it just kind of one unit that you would use for everybody? It doesn't matter how many square footage you have.
We have our small unit. It's called the MX100. That is for the typical average house, about 12 to 1,500 square feet, that really doesn't have a whole lot of pools or hot tubs or anything. Just your typical house. That's our $265 unit. That's going to give you the best bang for your buck. Now, our bigger units are designed specifically for people that have larger homes, that have pools, hot tubs. Geotherm makes no difference because those units are bigger. They have more storage capacity, and they're $100 more than the small units, but it's well worth the difference, on a bigger home.
So even if I have a 1,200 square foot house and I decide to, you think it would probably be better for me to go with the bigger unit? It's only $100.
No,
I mean, and I don't have hot tubs. Or
no, we put the small unit in for you.
Yeah,
and then down the road, if you decide to put a hot tub in, you want a little more, you call us. We come pull it out, give you your $265 back, and just charge you the difference.
This is tremendous.
I don't know what else I could ask. Does it come in different colors? Man,
I'm excited.
And you have one in your house now?
Yeah, Mike installed the next grade, the middle of the higher grade.
The MX200?
Yeah, I think so. Because I have a hot tub and I got all this stuff running, a couple fridges and stuff. So I'm just thrilled at. I'm going to watch this thing every month and I'm going to report it because we're going to be talking about this for weeks and weeks and months. Because we all bitch about that.
Sure. and Mike says, and let's make it clear, it'll take 6 to 12 months before you actually see the savings. I mean, you'll see. You'll see savings immediately. On the next month's bill, you'll start to see your kilowatts drop. But over the next 3 to 4 months, you'll start to see them melt away significantly. We just did a customer in Honeoye. The first month he saved $40. The second month he saved $100. Third month he saved $138. So these are all documented. The guy sold me like 30 units. He's very happy.
Wow.
See, here's the application I see, because we all get a little sense of where Pat Coyne is here and where he's at here.
I'm going to buy more booze, Steve.
Well, that
with the savings.
But here's even better.
All right.
You own an apartment complex.
Yeah.
You pay for utilities. You install the unit. You don't tell your clients that you're saving money.
Now you're thinking like me, Steve.
Well, the other part of that, if you do that, and people that are paying for their electric, they can use it as a sales tool if people are looking for shopping apartments.
Oh,
that might even be a more legitimate.
Yeah, that would be a nice way to go.
That's what's your background, Mike? What did you didn't
carpentry and electrical? I've been in business for 30 years, mainly in the Rochester area. This started out to be 4 years ago a part-time venture for us, and it morphed into full-time, 100%. That's all we do.
Incredible.
What's your favorite place to hang out in Irondequoit? I know you're from Irondequoit. What's your favorite
My
joint?
favorite place to hang out is at home with my wife.
Oh, listen.
Brown noser, apple polisher.
Yeah, when the commercial break comes up, I'll find out where you like to hang out. Mike, thanks for joining us today. This is fantastic.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
If you want more information on Rochester Power Saver, you can go to the website, which is uspowersave.com. USApowersave.com. There is a link on the blog page at propertysourceradio.com. We also have a video. We'll put up pictures of this demonstration that we shared with you and find out everything you want to know about how you can save up to 25% on your RG&E bill. And give you a phone number as well, and we'll have that for you as well. 455-8654. 455-8654. Mike, I'm worn out.
Thank you very much.
I'm worn out.
Appreciate having us.
When we come back, got a couple of things I want to talk about in the next segment of Property Source Radio, including a situation we have in my neighborhood. I want to figure out the best way to handle this. It's all coming up right after this quick break. Property Source Radio. We're here till 10. Sports Radio 950 ESPN.